the 10 most terrifying discoveries in Egypt, with horrific footage filmed inside the pyramids that scientists still dare not make public. 10th. Crocodile mummy. If you've watched the Mummy trilogy, the word mummy in Egyptian history won't be new to you. Yet we assume mummies are human. Actually, many creatures were mummified, even crocodiles. In ancient Egypt, mummies often served as offerings. Archaeologists say from 1000 BC to 400 AD, Guiji had millions of animal mummies, including cats, dogs, sheep, horses, baboons, crocodiles. Mummies linked people and gods in Egypt, seen as divine incarnations, so they were deeply revered. For years, people thought these animal mummies were either captive raised or taken from pets or wild animals simply found dead, but French archaeologists' latest study reveals a different truth. Montpellier 3 archaeologist Stéphanie Porquier performed a virtual dissection of a crocodile kept now at Lyons Museum, found at Egypt's Kamombo Temple in the early 1900s, about 2,000 years old. The autopsy results were shocking. The crocodile had been killed by a severe blow to the head. It was a powerful strike from behind that caused its instant death. Closer look showed a 3-4-year-old male crocodile, about a meter long, carrying 30+ babies on its back too. After death, they treated body with fats and resins. Stomach held undigested fish, insects, prey. During the mummification process, the wounds on the skull were intentionally repaired and wrapped in linen. This shows the crocodile was purposely hunted solely for mummification. In ancient Egypt, the crocodile was so big, a crocodile-headed god of fertility and 4 elements. Crocodile mummies are common in Egypt. Researchers still don't know if hunting animals to mummify them was widespread or need-based, but this find offers new clues to animal mummies' origins. Hiding the crocodile's head scars shows ancient Egyptians believed only a flawless animal could carry human wishes and prayers to the gods. This crocodile mummy is just one of Lyon Museum's 2,500 animal mummies. More virtual autopsies may unlock mysteries still. 9th. Incredible tunnel. Archaeologists have long sought Cleopatra's tomb. When they found a 1,300-meter underground tunnel, many thought it her final resting place. But what's the real story? In fact, 45 kilometers west of Alexandria on the Mediterranean coast, once stood the port city Taposiris Magna, meaning Osiris's great tomb. Founded by Egypt's Ptolemy II, this settlement saw Alexandria, during his 283-246 BC reign, become Egypt's and the world's cultural hub. Ptolemy II shifted Egypt from pharaohs to a Hellenistic monarchy. Ptolemy led cultural, administrative, and agricultural reforms. In 2022, Egyptian and Dominican archaeologists excavated the ancient Taposiris Magna site. Researchers found a huge tunnel 20 meters underground, 1,305 meters long, like Samos's Eupolinos tunnel, hailed as a major classical engineering feat. This tunnel is remarkable mainly because of the preservation state of this ancient port city. Most of Taposiris Magna Cathedral now lies underwater. Osiris Temple was battered by earthquakes, heavily damaged, yet this tunnel stayed intact. Archaeologist Kathleen Martinez at Santo Domingo University found key temple artifacts, coins naming and showing Cleopatra and Alexander the Great, plus an Isis statue. For over a decade, Martinez firmly believed Cleopatra and her lover Mark Antony were buried in the temple, convinced this tunnel may lead there. Martinez says Mark Antony, after losing to Caesar Augustus, committed suicide. Cleopatra arranged to bury them there, echoing Osiris and Isis in Egyptian myth. However, some doubt the claim Cleopatra and Antony were buried in Taposiris Magna's Great Temple. Experts say Cleopatra stayed in Alexandria until dying in 30 BC, age 39, and was quickly buried there too. So Cleopatra's tomb remains a debated mystery today. Number 8. The Zeus Cassios Temple. In 2022, archaeologists at Tel El Farama found an unknown temple ruin and wondered who it belonged to. It all started with 2 pink granite columns. As you know, granite is a very hard rock, often used in buildings. Repeated earthquakes toppled the columns here. Still, archaeologists found traces of the temple in the ruins. Egypt was ruled by Persians, Greeks, Romans, and Ottomans in Greco-Roman times. The Eastern Nile site Tel El Farama was called Pelusium for that region. The name meant both city and port. Pelusium's strategic vital location served many uses. In Pharaoh-era Egypt, it was a major fortress. Later, through Greek to Islamic eras, Pelusium remained important. Ancient Egyptian texts record a Zeus Casio's temple here in the Greco-Roman era. Additionally, there's evidence that large granite columns were transported to Pelusium by large ships. On streets by the temple ruins, archaeologists found large pink granite blocks. Later workers reused temple stones from the old site for other builds, likely nearby churches. Number 7. A 3,300-year-old painting. Amarna, Akhenaten's capital, preserves Egypt's rise, fall, and a 3,300-year-old painting. He revealed Egyptians' artistic brilliance to the world. Around 1353-1336 BC, Tut's father, Pharaoh Akhenaten, ruled Egypt. He changed Egypt's religion, focusing it on the worship of the sun disk, Aten. He built a new capital called Amarna and constructed the North Palace within it. At Amarna, archaeologists found ornate rooms packed with plaster panels showing nature in detail. Water lilies, papyrus, and birds. The scene likely fostered calm, giving the royal family a place to relax. These paintings stand out as exquisitely rendered, naturalistic bird imagery known from Egypt's dynasties at its peak. Green Room. The team saw works there, likely a rest spot, sometimes for socials or music. Through study, swallows and kingfishers were identified, still unsatisfied. Researchers used high-quality art replicas and ornithology records to expand the animal list. Shrikes and wagtails were newly identified in this analysis. Pied kingfishers and swallows stay in Egypt year-round. Redback shrikes, white wagtails migrate. The study found another detail. Birds in the painting are marked with triangles, likely clues from ancient birdwatchers, suggesting the artwork shows a specific season. These oddities show we must be critical when using art from the past as biology evidence. Number 6. Mysterious gesture? In 1922, Britain's archaeologist Howard Carter and team, by chance, broke Valley of the King's silence, revealing a boy pharaoh worldwide. To ancient Egyptians, the pharaoh ranked with the gods, calling himself the sun god's son. To keep royal blood pure, they married close kin to carry on. Tutankhamun, 8th dynasty pharaoh, took the throne at 9, ruled Egypt 10 years just briefly, and died at 19. Tutankhamun's death is disputed, shrouded in doubt. Some think he was murdered young. Others say a disease killed him. Still others suspect he died in a hunting accident or in war. His true cause of death remains unknown. This pharaoh's legends didn't end there either, though. Soon after Tutankhamun's tomb was found, Lord Carnarvon died. Others suffered misfortune too. This bizarre development was hyped by media as Pharaoh's curse. One explanation says the long-sealed tomb bred bacteria, so the first people entering later became ill. Tutankhamun's tomb hardly resembles a pharaoh's, unusually small beside others, yet its anti-theft defenses are exceptionally tight and carefully layered. His tomb held rich treasures. Many rare gems records list 5,000 plus items and 2,000 plus gold pieces. 3 ornate rings and a gold necklace stood out. One ring depicts Bes, god of joy. Another bears Egyptian hieroglyphs reading Daughter of Earth, and a third is carved with a bee. Yet no one knows whose feminine gestures these were, or how she related to the pharaoh. Number 5. Pregnant mummy. Searching ancient Egypt, archaeologists found an unusual mummy. Shockingly, inside it, a whole life remained preserved. This rare mummy, found in 1826, was mistaken for a male priest by sarcophagus hieroglyphs. However, Researchers' X-rays and computer analysis revealed it was actually a 20 to 30-year-old woman. His body lay in the royal tomb. His rank obvious. Archaeologists think he lived in Egypt's golden age and was born into Thebes' elite. His robe was costly and ornate, embroidered with amulets of Horus's 4 sons, Pharaoh's guardians, symbolizing ancient Egypt's supreme kingship. Only nobles, royalty, and pharaohs had such decoration, and only they were mummified after death in Egypt. They believed the soul lived on, bound to the body. Only mummification allowed their soul to exist after death at all. Archaeologists propose ideas why a fetus remained in the mummy, and why mummifiers didn't remove it. Most think it stems from ancient Egyptian religion. The fetus was seen as part of the mother's body, and only by entering the afterlife with her could life continue securely. Sadly, Polish archaeologists can't reliably pinpoint this mummy's find spot from broken, jumbled, centuries-old records today. Beyond identifying her, another baffling thing remains still unexplained. A body rots from within as organs break down. But most mummies stayed intact for millennia because the organs were removed during mummification to slow decay greatly. Essential step in mummification. Without it, even experts can't preserve the body's original form. Maybe that's why, besides this one, no other pregnant mummies have turned up. Their organs were taken after death, but this body was miraculously preserved. Fourth, 98-million-year-old Zinconwang fossil. Mansoura University researcher Bilal Salem found a dinosaur fossil in an oasis of Egypt's western desert. A flat, bulldog-faced biped with stout forearms. A fierce carnivore that ruled the Sahara 98 million years ago. Salem found a neck-base vertebra fragment. Studies show this lizard-like abelisaurid lived in the Cretaceous and reached about 6 meters when fully grown in length. These fossils were found only in Europe and southern continents, never at Bahariya. Salem says it's the oldest known abelisaurid fossil in northeastern Africa, showing that in the mid-Cretaceous these predators ranged across northern Africa, from Egypt to Morocco, south to Niger, perhaps even beyond. But how did many large predators coexist? Mystery remains. Studying this newly identified dinosaur and comparing its remains with finds from other continents, phylogenetic tests show the Egyptian species is closest to South American relatives, closer than Madagascar's. These findings back a geologic view. Madagascar split from Africa before South America did, since evolutionary ties imply former land links enabling populations to mix and mate. Third, a mummified lion cub. Some argue instead the Sphinx's lion may actually have been based originally on a cat. With Egypt mostly desert, people wonder how lions can survive there in conditions. However, Saqqara archaeological finds finally answered this mystery. In 2019, Egyptian archaeologists at Saqqara, south of Cairo, found at least 13 2,600-year-old wooden coffins. Surprisingly, these wooden coffins also held many animal statues. These statues vary: cat, cobra, and crocodile mummies, including 5 cat-like ones. This discovery left archaeologists puzzled as to why ancient Egyptians would create mummies in the likeness of cats, and whether this signified a special reverence for cats in their culture. Deep study found 2 cat mummies were lion cub remains. The other 3 couldn't be identified clearly yet. Tests showed both lions died sadly around 8 months old. Afterward, ancient Egyptians mummified the 2 cubs into wooden mummies. Why would they mummify lions? In Egypt, lions were privileged, seen as wild's fiercest fighters and symbols of danger and protection. Big cats were kept as royal pets. Ramesses II and Tutankhamun each had a mount. These 2 lion cubs likely came from a pharaoh's pet mother lioness. Unearthed lion cub mummies confirm ancient Egypt once supported lions, and the find starkly shows how Egypt's environment has severely deteriorated and shifted for millennia. Number 2. Nefertari's tomb. Ramesses II, Egypt's pharaoh, ushered in the New Kingdom's final age of peace power. As his favored queen Nefertari, imagine how astounding her tomb is after death. Nefertari, Ancient Egypt's shining jewel, famed for stunning beauty. She was one of ancient Egypt's best-known queens, and a near-perfect example too. Husband Ramesses II adored her. On her tomb, mourning, he wrote, "The sun rises for you, my one love, and rivaled. Passing by, you stole my heart." In the palace, Nefertari's beauty and grace won hearts. Everything around her brimmed with joy. His beauty and virtue moved hearts, and in life he was revered as miraculous. Besides 18th dynasty Queen Ti, Nefertari was among the few queens truly deified in life. At Abu symbol. This deification symbol appears clearer. Nefertari's statue stands beside Ramesses as Hathor, together guarding this sacred land. This rare Egyptian historical scene shows clearly Nefertari's unmatched rank and honor. Sadly, when this stunning tomb was found in 1904, its grave goods were already looted, and the owner's mummy was badly damaged too. All that remains are 3 fragmented pieces of bone from the knee area and a pair of exotic sandals. Yet Nefertari's tomb is still the grandest queen's tomb. Dubbed Ancient Egypt's Sistine Chapel, Nefertari's tomb has 2 levels, like a journey to afterlife, each step symbolic. The murals show him beside Ra, sharing life and a divine bond with the pharaoh. First, a golden mummy on display. Movies shape our image. Mummies are bandaged corpses, but exceptions exist. Some mummies were gilded in gold too, at times. In Egyptian tradition, gods transcend life and death. Ancient Egyptians believed joining a god granted eternal life after death. So they hoped, after death, to join reborn god Osiris? To reach this lofty goal, the servant's remains underwent solemn rites called mummification. Manchester Museum exhibits often show several golden mummies. Adult men, women, and children among them together there. Mummies vary in preservation. Gold leaf on face, body, or coffin makes them gleam, lavishly ornate. Why did Egyptians make golden mummies? Merely to flaunt wealth and status then? Egyptians deeply revered gold, believing its sun-like shine never faded, thus making it the god's skin. So they believed gold would bring them to the sun god, and that gods' bodies were gold. Thus ancient Egyptians saw gold as bridge to gods. In mummification, gold leaf on mask, body, and even outer plaster and coffin made the dead seem godlike, vastly boosting their chances for eternal life and divine status. That's all for today's video. Which of these 10 mysterious Egyptian finds stuck with you really most? Tell us in the comments below.